In this episode, I'm going to give you my recommendations for Week 17 of the fantasy basketball season for the Sleeper app. Now let's make some game picks. Welcome to the Game Pick Fantasy Basketball Podcast. I am your host, Robbin Marx. You can connect with me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Game Pick Podcast. If you love points leagues, dynasty, and sleepers' new game pick format, please consider subscribing on all channels. And please stick around until the end because I'm going to share the game pick sleeper of the week. Now let's go ahead and jump into our big time game picks for week 17 of the NBA season. Darius Garland. Darius Garland has 3 games this week. He does have a back-to-back on the Friday and Saturday. Big shout out to my man David Vega for giving me this suggestion for the show to cover Darius Garland. What I would say about Garland is you got to give him a little bit of time to find his groove. He's been out for the last few games with an injury, so him coming back, I would make sure you allow him a few games to kind of get into the groove before you play him. So my recommendation for Darius Garland would be Friday at Indiana. It's his highest projected point total. And just to make sure you prevent him being rested on the second half of the Friday and Saturday night back-to-back, I would go ahead and play him the first game, which is the Friday game at Indiana. DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan only has 2 games this week. It is a back-to-back, funny enough, a Friday and Saturday back-to-back. DeRozan has had to carry a lot of the weight of the team with Zach LaVine being a bit banged up. So this team has really been struggling in terms of injuries. Alex Caruso is out, and their backcourt has been, decimated essentially, and they're trying to stay steady as one of the top teams in the East. So for me, I would play DeMar DeRozan on the Wednesday at Charlotte. This one is interesting. Alfred Shumpert. I think this might be Alfred's first time on this list, but he only has 2 games this week, no back-to-backs. The reason I'm adding him to the list is because last night he started. On Sunday night, February 6th, he actually started for the Houston Rockets. And also, it's been reported that Christian Wood has asked the coach to let him play alongside Shumpert, which is big news. If Alfred Shumpert can somehow get 25 to 30 minutes per game, he is going to be a beast. So if he's available on your waiver wire, I would go ahead and grab him. There's no telling what will happen at the trade deadline. Will Christian Wood get moved, or will they continue this Twin Towers approach with their front court? My game pick for Alfred Shumpert is Tuesday at New Orleans. Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey has 3 games this week. He has a back-to-back on the Friday and Saturday. He has been on an absolute tear. He's really coming into his own with Ben Simmons out of the picture. I'm going to play Tyrese Maxey on Tuesday versus Phoenix. Trey Young. Trey Young has 3 games this week, no back-to-backs. My recommendation for Trey Young is Friday versus the San Antonio Spurs. It is his highest projected point total. Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese has 3 games this week. He has a back-to-back on the Tuesday and Wednesday. And with De'Aaron Fox out with injury, Halliburton has really been taking advantage of the opportunity. Someone asked me recently on the TikTok page, what would Halliburton's value decrease when De'Aaron Fox returned? And the answer is no. Halliburton has standalone value. Whether he plays with Fox or not, he is a fantasy stud. My recommendation for my game pick for Tyrese Halliburton for week 17 is the Saturday at Washington. This week's game pick sleeper of the week is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the best place to play fantasy sports, including best ball, daily drafts, and pick'em. Start drafting in minutes for a shot at big cash and an enhanced game-watching experience. Did I mention that Kevin Durant and Mark Cuban invested in Underdog? Once I heard about those cosigns, I had to spread the news. Sign up today and use the code GamePickPodcast. Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. It's like getting free money. Don't miss out for your chance to double up from the jump. To sign up, just download the Underdog Fantasy app on Android or iOS. Now, our game pick sleeper of the week, Terry Taylor. Terry Taylor is a shooting guard from the Indiana Pacers, if you've never heard of him. He has 2 games this week, no back-to-backs. Terry Taylor has really just been, capitalizing on the opportunity with Malcolm Brogdon out. Karis LeVert was recently traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity in the backcourt for Terry Taylor. So I would fire him up this week and see if there is any truth to what's happening with his production. He's been producing at a high level. My recommendation for Terry Taylor is going to be the Sunday versus Minnesota. If I didn't mention your player, please do me a big favor and drop a comment with your request. Please join our brand new Discord server if you need help with game picks, trades, dynasty questions, team names, points leagues, category leagues, the works. To join the server, just visit bit.ly/gamepickdiscord. That's bit.ly/gamepickdiscord. Also, don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share with a friend, hit us with a hacksaw Jim Duggan, and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Last thing, if you want to support the Game Pick Podcast so we can continue to pump out league-winning content, please consider becoming a Patreon member and get tons of exclusive benefits, including our monthly Dynasty rankings. For more information, please visit patreon.com/GamePickPodcast. Thanks for joining me. I hope you absolutely crush your league this week. Now get out there and make some game picks.